Well, hey, Michael, what you doing?
Hey Trey, just picking and grinning.
Picking and grinning. Nice fire you got.
I appreciate that. It's starting to die down.
Kind of cool up here today. It's not
It's
that
a
85 degrees.
Little
It goes down the
chilly.
mountains.
Little chilly and breezy.
Yeah, you know, Michael, the rest of the staff and I hope you're doing well. We hope you're staying healthy and for sure following the proper health guidelines to keep from getting sick. We thought we'd try to bring you a little bit of Laurel Ridge to wherever you are. First, it is safe to say that these past few weeks have provided some of the hardest yet unique opportunities we've ever faced. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been felt around the world. And although much remains uncertain right now, one thing is for sure, this crisis will pass. You know that, Michael? Our communities, Camp and Laurel Ridge as a whole, will recover, and ultimately Laurel Ridge will be open to serve you again and to provide you with your mountain place set apart to form disciples of Jesus Christ. Until then, know that we still think about you every day. We are planning our little tails off for summer, and we really miss each and every one of you. Did you know that our mission statement, Laurel Ridge is a mountain place set apart for forming disciples of Jesus Christ who live and learn in community to serve in the world, is more than just words on a page? As a place set apart, you can come to Laurel Ridge to get away, hike, canoe, fish, or just rest on the Higgins Terrace and leave the worries of your down the mountain life behind. Laurel Ridge is a place to be yourself, visit old friends, meet new people, strengthen relationships with family, and even form new relationships with strangers. The opportunity to become disciples of Jesus Christ is open to each and every person. Many different ideas about what it means to become a disciple were formed right here at Laurel Ridge. And many of those ideas became a reality through the bonds built through camper Bible study, singing songs together, and social interaction, which blossomed into action. M Cubed was one of those ideas that started at Laurel Ridge and impacted the East Coast. Weren't you a part of that, Michael?
That was me. Every year after a week of camp, we always hear campers and visitors saying that they don't want to leave or they need a way to bring camp down the mountain. Well, you may not be too surprised to hear that that's how I felt. After my junior year, the Bishop Hopton Clinton of the Northern Province gave us a great week of camp, and I felt just like that. We knew it was over, but we had to change something. We could not go another year without Laurel Ridge. So that was when we created this group that would become known as MMM or M Cubed or M3, ultimately Monthly Mission Ministries. We wanted to find a way to share the love that we felt every time that we were on the mountain with everyone that we knew back home. So we met every Monday night for months trying to figure out the dynamics of the group and how we would fit into the larger picture of Christ's kingdom. It was then that we realized that it was not about the physical place that made Laurel Ridge camp, but the people and the love that we all shared together.
You know, in Matthew 11:28-30, Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. All of you, take up my yoke and learn from me, because I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." We have been blessed with a place to go when we are weary, when we are heavy laden. Laurel Ridge has been that place to grow, explore, restore, and reflect for 60 years in our little corner of Ashland and Wilkes counties. And this year, we'll celebrate 60 years of mountain blessings.
60 years of camping ministries. That's an awesome goal and an awesome thing to accomplish. Back in the 1950s, lots of church youth of the Southern Province were looking for a place, a new way to worship outside. That youth group of the Southern Province funded the original purchase of property that was the beginning of Laurel Ridge. And I have a journal entry here with me from Bishop George Higgins that was taken while he was setting up with a group of people for the first ever summer camp week at Laurel Ridge. We'll meet this week as a homecoming on July the 26th, which happens to be the same date that this particular journal entry was recorded. And I'm going to share a little bit of it with you. July 26th, 1960. We came to the conference ground today to do all possible to get ready for the opening on July 29th. The buildings and the grounds are far from ready, and to make matters worse, it rained almost all day. There was a great group of staff that came in today, and also present were Mr. and Mrs. Paul Kolb, who drove a pickup truck to help bring the supplies. The conference ground truck was driven to Winston-Salem and back for a load of supplies by Bert Johnson and Billy Gilbert. Margaret Higgins and Peggy Parrish came up about 2 p.m. to bring the produce which we forgot. Our biggest handicap, outside of the mud, was that the kitchen equipment was not installed. We therefore could not cook anything. For lunch, we sent to Meyer's restaurant for sandwiches. For supper, we had cold cuts, pork and beans cold, and a platter of green vegetables. This afternoon, we assembled the beds in the cabins, swept the cabins, put up stable groceries in the storage room, and unpacked enough china and silverware to set the table for 11, which was the number at supper. The women slept in the staff cabin, Gramley and Higgins in the east wing of the assembly hall. The other boys were in various cabins. In the early part of the evening, we had a terrific thunderstorm with heavy rainfall. And that's July the 26th, 1960.
So when are we celebrating this year?
July 25th and 26th. We're going to have a homecoming on the mountain.
Is that right after Middle High?
Right after Middle High.
All right, great. Hey, you think Rex Santa can buy some big cans of Beanie Weenies and we'll eat them cold?
Big cans of pork and beans.
Woo. All right, for 60 years, Laurel Ridge has been more than just a place. It's the people that make it special. The physical space up here is amazing, but ultimately it's your group, it's you the counselors, you the campers, and the staff that make Laurel Ridge a community where we learn in together. We never really are that far away from one another, even when we're isolated physically from each other during this pandemic. But we at Laurel Ridge, just like many other churches in our community, are adapting and finding other ways and new ways to share Christ with one another and move our church community forward. We're all finding new and different technologies to help us stay connected. So please join us with whatever technology you're using and sing along with us. Let's sing some songs, Michael.
We'll start with Do Lord.
Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Look away beyond the Blue Ridge Parkway. I've got a home in glory land that outshines the sun. I've got a home in glory land that outshines the sun. I got a home in glory land that outshines the sun. Look away beyond the Blue Ridge Parkway. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Look away beyond the Blue Ridge Parkway. I took Jesus as my Savior, you take him too. I took Jesus as my Savior, you take him too. I took Jesus as my Savior, you take him too. Look away beyond the Blue Ridge Parkway. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Look away beyond the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'll wear the long white robe and you wear the crown. I'll wear the long white robe and you wear the crown. I'll wear the long white robe and you wear the crown. Look away beyond the Blue Ridge Parkway. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Do Lord, oh do, remember me. Look away beyond the Blue Ridge Parkway. Woo. I don't think Third Valley's got any worries. Second Valley. Third Valley doesn't either, does it?
30 days. Next one's Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, saved a wretch like me. Once was lost, but now I'm found. Once was blind, but now I see. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Hallelujah.
how sweet the sound saved a wretch like me. Once was lost, but now I'm found. Once was blind, but now I see. Hallelujah.
You know, let's continue to stay in touch. You can find a link to email each of us on the website, or just type in one of our names, Michael at Lowell Ridge, Scarlett at Lowell Ridge, or Trey at Lowell Ridge.
Yeah. So reach out to us, let us know, email. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, so give us a follow. We're doing lots of great stuff on YouTube right now, some crafts and activities that you can do at home with your camper or yourself. So reach out to us, give us a like or a follow. Now we're going to finish up with the Jude benediction.